Hello and welcome everybody back to the Dumbass class with me, Dyslexic Gamer, as we carry on our Dark Heresy tabletop RPG game, Inquisitorial Profiteers, with my players as always, except when we're missing one, because Brazilian traffic sucks. Hopefully he will join us shortly.
Arriba. Wait, no, that was Mexican, never mind.
So,
same difference.
In the previous episode, our group had managed to kill off the remaining necrophages, whatever they were, creepy mutants. Some of them have been augmented with eyes and studs on the sides of their heads. They ran forth and they found that the mutant settlement had been ravaged. Many dead, many deceased. And as they pushed on a bit further, they found more dead mutants. Only there were some living ones. Fortunately, the remaining renegade guardsmen were holding their ground. The archaeotech had been brutally opened and pillaged, but our group did push on. Once a little trap had been set off that nearly killed one of my players, my luck being absolutely on last session, he managed to survive and was in fact blown further forwards and into the line of sight of his sister. Upon seeing her little brother, she charged towards him and dropped her weapons. In a frenzied state, our good friend Darius couldn't actually stop himself from fighting her, but all she did was defend. Eventually, he snapped out of his fury and fell unconscious. She caught him before he hit the ground and tried to leave. Another fight ensued between one of our resident psychers and Darius's sister. She managed to get away, or was let go, very wounded, and tried to make her escape. After almost getting away, Ezio, our resident sniper, assault specialist, kind of, dropped her from the sky. Now, I fucked up. I thought my luck was on all night, and it had finally turned and she was dead. After some further calculations, it turns out that -7 to the head with an impact weapon does not kill you. So there was a loud scream as Ezio shot her, and she fell quite some distance. However, unlike before, where the scream just carried on going, this time there's a That's pretty much where we ended the episode off. The rest of the group managed to get to where everyone should be. There was some confusion, so I'll be tweaking some things in the next Neverland part that we go into. But yes, we pick back up with Darius is currently on the floor, still sadly unconscious, although you do have a fortune point if you wish to use it and overcome your unconscious state.
Can I be resuscitated by like a medic by any chance?
I can use cauterize on you to wake you up.
Can you actually?
No.
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 Just fucking burn the shit out of you.
So
I was like, hang on.
You have fatigue.
I might have to spend a fate point to wake up.
And
I mean,
fatigue is something that normally you can't just remove it with a fortune point. Because we're going into RP times, I will let you spend it to basically.
Well, yeah, no, you
down
actually
to a
can.
level.
You remove fatigue points with fear points.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's one of the few things you actually can use fear points for.
We almost never use fatigue, so no, that's fair enough.
You do know I have stim, right?
Oh, you have stim? Yeah, fuck that. Never mind. Give me the stim.
Or there's stim as an alternative option.
Good old drugs.
Good old
drugs. I've been running around.
To the sister, I suppose.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was expecting you to stim me when I got I wanted you to stim. Yeah, that was the plan. Was to stim me while I was frenzied. I was immune to fatigue, fear, and everything else in between, and critical effects.
I'm gonna just get out my med pack, get out the stim dose, throw it towards Ezio, fix Darius now, and run off towards the sister.
Probably
the
best
looter,
of
though.
two, yeah.
Don't know how to use them.
It's quite a simple item. You jab it into them and it fires down. It's
I
not-
mean, I am cradling Darius's head, so
and you
makes
would have
sense that I
seen
do
it used multiple times on the battlefield, Ezio. It's not you would have seen medics just smashing a tubular device
Requires
into
a
them.
-20 Medicaid test.
I don't have Medicaid at all, so
yeah, none of us have.
Is it
I have Medicaid.
is it minus to use a
Do it.
stim?
It doesn't have. No, I was making a joke.
Oh,
no,
okay. I was
Help
like, no,
yourself.
it doesn't actually have a fucking -20. No.
yeah, it's literally it's like morphine from
Oh,
World War
it's
War
literally
Two.
morphine.
You know, it's you just stab it in, but it's
Yeah,
it's
you can't
modern
really
tech,
fuck
so
it
it
up.
fires in.
You can technically, but
you can jab it in with the plastic still on.
Yeah, or the wrong way round. I'll
you
give
can jab
I'll
it
give
into
you
their
that.
fucking brain.
Yeah, or the eyeball. There are ways
Yeah,
to fuck
that
it up,
too.
but you would have seen them like fatty leg part, arse, fatty arm part.
There are ways to fuck it up, but it takes a special kind of stupid, and I don't think Ezio's that. Well, hang on, he did shoot my sister.
Been told not to.
I mean, I shot an enemy.
Oh.
So, Ezio, you've been given a stim. The tech priest has taken off. You're about halfway. At this
I
moment.
does it to Mordecai, and I move on following the tech priest.
Don't shoot her if she lives.
We will capture her, I hope.
I'm going to say that
Wait, hang
Liliana. Sorry, is it Liliana? Shit. Yeah, it is Liliana in this game. God, Jim's had so many characters with so many L's for names, and now I'm like concerned that I'm.
Hang on, does stim remove fatigue?
Yeah, I believe so. For 1 hour, you function as if you are unfatigued, but you become fatigued after 1 hour. So yeah, it is Liliana. She says something sassy about just pricking that to Ezio about just pricking Darius. So she takes off.
I know the perfect quip, but I can't say it. I'm unconscious.
Well, it's his character. I shouldn't really make quips on his behalf, but she says something sassy like that and takes off.
Ezio
after
can't
the
use his
tech
prick.
priest. Yeah, it's
There you
like
go.
it's like sassy like that. Where Tiffany follows along behind, like she looks down at Darius, is like, fucking good play, and then takes off. So then, Ezio, you toss the injector to Mordecai, and you go on. Ezio goes on after everyone else. So it's currently just Ezio, just Mordecai and Darius on the floor. VV didn't bother coming over here.
Running?
You can
Why?
guess where he is. And we have Winters, Liliana, Tiffany, and Ezio going after Darius's sister in that order. So Winters, as you run over to where the rope is, you come round this. It looked like maybe once it was part of the roof. Probably part of the roof, as there's a decent amount of debris around here. As you come round this big piece of debris, you see blood smeared across several other pieces of debris. It looks as if she's hit the debris as she's fallen down. And you can see Darius's sister laid across a load of much smaller debris. Doesn't appear to be moving as you're like running over there. Would you like to give... So you've got two options here. You can just go straight with Medicaid, or you can do Medicaid perception to figure out what's actually happened to her.
My perception is shit. I'm just gonna go straight for Medicaid.
Okay. So she is at -7, so there is a -20 for critical damage. Unless you have Master Chirurgeon.
Which I do not. I was gonna get it, but then I got Marksman instead.
Well, with a natural 3, you've got 7, well actually 8 degrees of success. So you're very quickly able to get in, you check that, okay, so she is actually breathing as you're performing your Medicaid tests. You realise quite quickly on, she's got like 5 broken ribs. So moving her is going to be extremely difficult in case she ends up puncturing a lung or another organ. So you do your best with what you've got to try and just trying to think for a moment, what do you do when you've got broken ribs? I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's surgery. So you do your best to stabilize her and like
broken ribs is basically bandage it up and let it heal.
That's
you don't really do anything with them.
Well, so when it's like properly broken and you've got a chance of puncturing organs, you may have to have surgery to have that shit removed or rebuilt
or fixated.
But
yeah,
you're in the underhive, so you're basically just wrapping her chest, just padding it out, making sure there's no other damage to it. I imagine you're probably putting in a drain as well, because probably as you look around, lots of bruising around the back and kidneys and chestal cavity area. Breathing's kind of slow. You're like, let's just be sure. Bit of fluid comes out that cavity there. Her breathing does improve slightly, and I believe she goes up to 0 hit points. Oh no, sorry. Actually, what's your intelligence bonus?
51. So 5.
So 5. That would be 13 hit points. You have. She has received, which is fucking holy shit. So 13 hit points. She goes to 0, and then she gains 6. Yes, okay. So yeah, she went from -7 to 6 hit points. She is still.
She lives.
She is still very much unconscious and will need further medical treatment before things have actually recovered. And you will probably need to create a stretcher for her, but she is stable. She will live, yes. As you're performing your Medicaid tests, you would have Liliana and Tiffany come round the corner, like as you're in the middle of it, and then soon after Ezio appears, probably as you're putting in the drain and like draining out blood from the chest cavity. Sorry, I said chest cavity. I meant lungs.
Close enough.
It's in the general area.
Yeah.
It certainly is. It does help. So, hello, Jim. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
Fucking eggs.
It's okay. You currently walked round a corner, or ran round a corner with Tiffany, and you can see a Winters in her red robe, working on a. I guess you are aware that's Darius' sister. A woman
Everyone's
who
aware.
is in guard, well worn and battered, And now crispy, burnt, dusty, and other things, guard fatigues, laying on a load of rubble as Winters is performing first aid on her.
Oh, what did I miss?
Nothing. Minter saved her. Now we can capture her, manacle her, bring her up for interrogation. And also pat her down.
You're not doing jack shit to her. She's broken ribs. You're not moving.
How fucked up does she currently look like?
Very.
I mean, I know, I know out of character that what happened, but Liliana looking at her, does she look crispy like a well done steak? Also a shit ton of bruises, or?
Yeah, so essentially she would be bleeding from the head slightly, where it looks as if one of Ezio's shots basically exploded her helmet. It looks like the helmet must have taken the brunt of the hit, but the way that there's no helmet left, and as you look around, you can just see parts of what you think might be a guard's helmet. Yeah, that's caused some trauma to the head area. The fact that her hair is pretty much singed to oblivion, like she stinks. Her guard fatigues are also guard outfit is also, badly burnt, singed, and areas of it are crispy. Herself, however, although she has got burn marks and burn injuries, nothing seems too fatal. Like, it doesn't look like she needs skin grafts or anything like that. It looks like maybe just about 2nd degree burns, if that. But a lot of them. Yeah, she's not in a good way.
Holy shit! You guys seriously did a number on her, didn't you? Whoa! I'm gonna look at Darius. Oh shit! Is he okay?
Mordecai, have you ejected him yet?
Pardon?
Have you ejected
Sorry, what was
Darius
that?
yet?
Yes. What was the? I was about to ask. What was the test to inject? Because
I
everyone
didn't hear that I was.
There is no test.
What?
It's an action.
There is no test.
Yeah, it's an
Okay,
action.
I got confused because people said there was a test.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, I
but
would have stabbed him by now. Yeah.
We cleared it up
What are you
with
injecting him
Darius.
with?
It was a joke. It's stim.
Stim.
So
Okay.
you
Yeah, I
forget
would've.
about all fatigue and critical injuries, I believe, for 1 hour. I will just double check the Dark
So-
Heresy rules for that.
Doesn't it double your fatigue after that hour though?
I think it knocks you out for twice as long. Yeah.
Is it 1st edition or 2nd edition fatigue? Not fatigue. 1st edition or 2nd edition?
First edition.
Stims.
Still true. Right.
Yeah, first edition, because it's.
No, don't use Trove. That's illegal. Definitely not using Trove. I swear.
No,
that?
we couldn't use Trove.
Yeah, no, it's
that'd be
not
terrible.
a repository that a dragon would store things in. It's fine.
Don't talk about it.
No, what are you talking about?
Exactly. Nothing.
playing,
What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm playing the 3D 2018 RPG Trove. What are you talking about?
So China.
Fun fact: is a game not very good. Well, yeah.
It's mediocre.
It's beside the point. But anyway, back to the game, guys.
I'm trying to find the fucking.
Oh,
book
it's
here, hang on.
page 150. Core rule book.
Page 150. I don't have the first edition book on
It's
me. I have to go-
3d10 rounds. During this time, a character ignores any negative effect to their characteristics from damage or critical damage and cannot be stunned. When the stim wears off, the character takes a -20 to toughness, strength, toughness, and agility for 1 hour. Wait, what? Is this different to
Oh,
only War Stim?
Is this 1st edition or 2nd edition? Sorry.
That's second
First-
edition.
First edition.
First edition. Sorry.
First edition.
Yeah, it's first edition.
Wait a minute, I thought that one was for
Yeah, I don't think Stim actually does that.
Okay, I have this the one for second edition. Should I post that one?
What's the first second edition version? And I'll check only wars.
Dose of stim is enough to energize the weary and mass pain with shortened vitality. Blah 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 blah. Each dose lasts for 3d10 rounds. During this time, a character ignores any negative effect to his characteristics from damage, critical damage, and fatigue, and cannot be stunned. When the stim wears off, the character suffers a -20 penalty to strength, toughness, and agility tests for 1 hour and gains 1 level of fatigue. Stim is addictive, so just 1 level of fatigue.
No, great.
So he'll
Okay,
go from
and
6 to
what's
7.
the-
So, you know.
What's the 198? 198. Let's just see.
Do I
if
have the
only
friends who
wars
do ignore it
was,
again?
Slightly different. But I think it might be second edition that I was thinking about. Have I just gone past? No, there's Stim. There's Stim. No. Only war is the same as second, I think. Oh no, that's funny. It's first edition. What does it say? Fatigue.
Yeah.
That's odd. I'm pretty sure I always thought that Stim removed fatigue for 3d10 rounds or kind of an hour in narrative time. I think I may have got that from the All Guardsmen's party though. That's where my brain goes to when I think, where did I get that from? That's where it goes to. So we'll say for now. We'll say for now because it's being used, and that's what I thought it did. That it will get Darius up for an hour. After that, he is going to collapse and need to just rest for a few hours to get rid of the negative, to be awake.
Can I just wonder? Can Darius roll the 3d10 just to see if he would stay up for 3 rounds and then pass out again?
Sure, you get an hour, but if you want to just see what Nuffle would have said, no, Nuffle's
Well, 22 times 10. Hang, yeah, 22 times 10 divide by 60 for the minutes. Is that it?
220.
That's just a few minutes.
Yeah, well, that's for combat terms. Basically 3.5 minutes.
I'd say
Yeah.
that's like 2
3 minutes and 40
a bit.
seconds.
Yeah.
Oh well, never mind. Narrative time. We're not in combat. You can have an hour.
So yeah, as soon as the injection hits, it gets pumped into the system. Slight delay, and then looks around, looks at Mordecai, and there's kind of a realization, like he's about to say, like, I had the weirdest dream, before realizing where he is.
Yeah.
Pushes you to one side, gets up, and shouts, "Where is she?" Realizing his voice is now very croaky.
There's also a gun on the floor. You recognise?
Yeah. I imagine you try to say it like commanding and it comes out more of as like a squeak.
Like
Where
Ronaldo
is she?
smell.
And just say fuck, I'm forgetting the names because Winters has a she tried to get away before I realized quite who she was, and then she was getting away again, and
Do I
fell.
see the very particular red robes?
No, because they're currently around.
I'm
Because they're
starting
actually,
to wander off.
You would probably. So if we do this right, yeah, you'd probably just about make out Ezio and Tiffany going behind the piece of debris, and you can see that the rope's in a distance. It looks like that's where the rope hits the ground, or that's kind of where roughly it hits the ground. So you know it's that direction.
Yeah, I probably help you up and help you over there.
Yeah,
'cause
I'm gonna. I try like stagger off by myself, but Yeah, I found my like 6 fatigue. I'm stumbling over my own feet.
Yeah. I'm on the way there. I'm just like, I didn't quite realize who she was at first. I'm sorry. All I knew was you were on the floor and she was there, and I didn't.
I'm struggling on forward. I can tell you now, Darius isn't going to be paying attention. He's getting bits of what you're saying.
No, I know.
He's not listening completely.
This is just the guilt complex coming out. That's all. Yeah. Oh god, it's all my fault. When in reality, yeah, it's quite a lot my fault.
I'm just gonna raise a hand and say, are we currently safe? By the way, I don't know if those fuckers are gonna with teeth
They
are gonna come over after us. No, not that. The horde. I don't know if the horde is over. I don't think we should just linger around here. Shouldn't we just pack these people and fucking go?
I think that's a smart idea, but I would wait till the medic has stabilized her enough.
I was gonna say, go where? It's either deeper into the underhive or back through all of them. We're here until it's sorted anyway.
I'm gonna look up. Maybe through that?
We should gather the wild wardens if we're gonna do that anyway.
I'm gonna go check up on Aluka and the rest of the people, because all I heard was struggling gunfire, psychic waves of flame and stuff like that. I didn't actually see what was going on this side of the arena.
Oh no, Amy saw that I was the psycho. Fuck! She was the only one that followed. Fuck!
Hey,
I'm not even focusing on that right now. She's just like around as a third wheel.
Before I go do that, I'm just gonna observe and see if Darius is going towards his sister.
I'm on the way around, still panting and staggering over himself. So the good news is because you declared this as narrative time, I don't actually have minuses to skill tests. I just take double the amount of time.
I'm gonna put my hands on my hips, give a dip sizing, like, oh fuck, this is gonna be fun, isn't it? Not in a good kind of fun, bad kind of fun, and I'm gonna follow Darius.
I just shoot you a look, like as we stagger past. So just like I hear you mutter that, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck?
I'm gonna look at you. Not the good kind of fun, you dummy. The bad kind of fun, like bondage without a safe word.
Still, you're getting the look as we walk. Like, oh, fuck.
Do I find my sister?
Yes, you see that Winters has wrapped her chest. There's a lot of blood on the floor around her. You can see the bandage. There's a bit of blood that's on the bandage, but not nearly as much as you'd expect from a grievous wound. So it looks more controlled, if that's the right word. But Winters is currently like looking back, looking at her Medicaid kit and the little diagnostic that's probably there, and just like it looks like she's finished her work, and looks quite pleased.
I'm dropping down beside Kathleen and looking over her, and just the first thing to go through my mind is, holy shit, what the fuck did I do? Because the last thing I'm going to be remembering is I was swinging at her with quite a bit of determination.
It's like
Do I notice the burns?
Yes.
I told you,
her arms, her
this
face,
isn't gonna go well.
her hair. Like the smell of burnt hair is particularly strong. But again, it doesn't seem like it's just on the tip of second degree burns. It's in the middle. It's not proper skin graft territory. But yeah, you can see that it's perhaps Winters applied a salve or something from the Medicaid kit. But it's a gel wrap or something. It does look like the skin is blistering up from under there. There's a big wound on the side of her head. You can see that her parts of her helmet are scattered around among the place. But yeah, the fire damage is quite obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on her leg and chest mainly. May have gone back up to chat.
Just on her hair and chest. Neat.
Just like
God damn it.
Scorching on her leg, scorching on her like chest piece.
Just scorching on her everything, like 80% of her body. It's fine.
Oh fuck! All
Didn't hit her that hard.
He, I think, goes down, bends down to cradle over. He sees the burns, and he stops. What happened? What burns?
This isn't gonna end well.
Winters is just gonna start to slowly tell what kind of injuries she's got. Like, she's got burns on her chest, burns on her leg, shattered bones pretty much all over, though nothing too major except for the rib cage.
Okay,
3 broken ribs, and as far as I can tell, she's stable for now.
Did she fall?
Yep, she did.
So who's all behind me? Technically, so Ezio, Mordecai, Liliana, and Tiffany.
Tiffany's backed away a bit. Amy's gone back to her people, kind of like a little bit in shock.
I'm pretty sure that's correct, except for Amy.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay. All right, then. So I'm turning around and Burns begins heavy, grating breaths as he's not out of breath, but he's trying to breathe through something that's severely stressed. What's happening? What? Did we do?
We went after her. We tried to apprehend her. She resisted.
She fall?
She was getting away. I was under the impression we were taking down an enemy. And I shot her. After Mordecai burnt her first.
Is
I'm just shooting you down just so that is not what fucking happened, and you know it.
Is this where I gain the 20 insanity points, by the way? Or 10 insanity points?
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, you gain 10.
Isn't it what happened?
Points from
No,
No,
It is,
way earlier.
that's really not what happened. We told you who she was and not to shoot, dude.
I was already shooting.
I was already shooting.
We told you to not shoot before.
So it's just 10 insanity points, or?
Yeah, 10 insanity points unreduced for the fact that you saw your sister again, the fact that you were in a frenzy and you kept attacking her, and now that you're realizing that your comrades kind of really fucked your sister up. It is just like that's your brains, kind of difficult to take it all in.
I saw you down because you're really fast at sprinting when you're angry. I saw you down and thought she did it and tried to stop her from getting away. It was only after I hit her a few times she said who she was, and I stopped, and I realized that she. No, it's true. I did try and stop her, and then realized who she was.
I'll give you a plus. I'll give you a
deceiving.
plus 10. But if you want to go with that, then you found out who she was after she attacked you a few
No,
times.
I don't.
Then
Okay, can
no.
you-
That's
Before
the way
telling
the
me to roll the
deception is.
check, can you let me finish the story, and then you can realise that the way I'm describing it is not deceiving. Because I did go at her and try to take her down, and then
Yeah.
realised that she was the sister. Then tried to apprehend her,
I think
she got away,
everyone's
and then I tried to
forgetting.
set her on fire.
I think everyone's forgetting a small part
wasn't-
that happened at the start of last week's episode. So your comm beads are active at all times.
Oh yeah.
You can hear
Oh, yeah.
everything
good
that's
point.
going on. So you
point.
knew from the moment he shouted out Kathleen, and you could hear at least part of her conversation and his responses. It's so you can change your story to be like straight away. Look, I knew she was, but yeah, if you want to stick with, then I found out.
Oh yeah. No,
That's what the
No,
deceit is.
okay. No, sorry, I forgot about the comm beads bit. But yeah, it's like more. I tried to stop her from getting away, and then she started running, and I tried to stop her more, and then I just looked at you, and I realised I had to stop and let her go, and then they caught up. I point to to the other members of the party, and
Don't look at me, dude. I just arrived.
yeah, well, you just arrived, but Winters and thing, and told him not to shoot, and he shot, but he missed the first shot, and then we couldn't get to him just before he shot again, and to try and
She
stop
had
her getting
downed
away.
a comrade. You don't down a comrade.
Right.
I protect my comrades. No
I'm
matter whom from whom.
yeah.
But-
I'm like as you're explaining the story, Darius is slowly crawling like around to the far side of Kathleen, and so he can face all of you. Putting her head in his lap and is drawing his revolver.
I'm going to take the revolver out of his hands.
If you move, he points it at you.
I instantly take a step forward. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
No, if you move, I point it at you. Simple as.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just gonna say,
I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah.
kids.
I'm gonna look him in the eye and move to take the revolver out of his hands.
Wait, all of you, fucking chill. This is already a stressful enough of a situation. We get what he's going through right now, but we're currently in an active combat zone, kinda. So take a breather, everybody. Let him process.
I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I don't care.
She's going to be okay, Darius.
Hmm.
I'm still moving for the revolver. If he points at me, I don't care. I'm gonna look him in the eye and move to get the revolver out of his hands.
If you want to grapple it
me-
off me, you're going to have to roll contested strength.
Give me a Winters. Give me a fellowship test. So, It's either going to be a charm test, which you can have a plus 20 on, or a fellowship test flat. As you're, I'm guessing you're trying to convey the fact that where you're looking him in the eyes, that look, I'm an ally, I'm your friend, I'm just need to put this down for now. You know, the Medicaid, the doctor kind of stepping in. Is that right?
Yes, sort of. Yes.
Let me turn you down slightly. Hang on.
So yeah, a charm plus 20 or a thingy flat.
I failed by fucking 5.
Wow.
Can I step in and just say, Darius, come on, we're with you. Just
Step it in.
put the gun down.
See, everyone keeps stepping and I keep pointing.
So
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do it.
So okay,
Yeah,
so
like,
from where? Hang on, guys,
I feel like it was.
guys, I have to go with because everyone's moving at the
Yeah.
moment. I'm gonna have to try and slow it down, and so Winters moves in, looking Darius in the eye and just drop the gun, Darius, just tries to go in. Darius, you can see that Winters is trying to help, but the cold, Nosopta Mechanicus just doesn't help. And I'm guessing you just raise your gun up meaningfully, get the fuck back, Winters. Defending your sister, I'm guessing, going a little bit mad at the same time as as Mordecai is trying to step in and, no, we're all friends, we're all, as Liliana's like, look, just stop, everyone, just shut the fuck up. So there's a moment of silence just comes through as everyone's just still for a moment. It seems as if Darius' intentions are being quite blatant, that anyone who comes towards him or his sister gets a dagger in the keister.
That's why I was like, I take a step forward, and then, oh wait, no, I'm just going to stand here now.
And the noggin.
So any other actions from here out, everyone knows where everyone's coming from. If you want to try and do a roll to try and tip the balance of player characters' thinkings, you can. But from here on out, it's a bit of a Mexican standoff. Just only one gun's been pointed. The rest of feels that
I'm still going to go for the gun. If he shoots me, he shoots me.
I just would like to speak to Darius. Or try to speak to Darius.
Can I take a deep sigh and intervene? Like, I'm trying to make everybody just stop what they're doing.
You'll need a roll.
That's kind of what I'm doing as well.
You'll need a roll at this point. Because intentions have been made clear.
What?
You can I'll let you pick at this point. Command, Charm are all very good ones. Intimidate would also be one that I would think you could use.
I currently don't have. I'm trying to. I think I would use Charm. Can I use Charm?
You can. Because this is with your team, there is a +20 to any of the tests. You can use Fellowship flat if you want, but it's just flat.
And I have Charm at the second tip, so I'm going to use Charm with a +20. Come on, baby, please. Oh!
There's another 3.
With 9 degrees of success, Liliana, you're able to calm the situation down for a moment. Essentially, everyone's attention is currently on Liliana. So no one can make any movements until Liliana tries to persuade or does something with her 9 degrees of success.
First question. Is there in between Winters and the sister Kathleen, or is Kathleen closer to Winters?
No, he's holding...
As far as I understand it, you have Darius, who has come round the back of Kathleen. He's sat down. Kathleen's head is on his lap. Then you have Winters being the next closest. And then you have you and Mordecai, who are the closest after that. And then the NPCs. And Ezio is kind of in the middle between the NPCs and you and Mordecai. If you want, you can place your tokens on the map in an area, because Darius' sister is on the map over here. So if you want for visual representation, you can utilize the map. If you do start getting yourselves lost or anything, I'll clear out some NPCs, well, bodies.
So kind of like, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're visiting on the
Ezio. We're watching over here again.
Yeah. Just sitting in the corner. Yeah.
She goes up that fucking ladder. She goes up that fucking rope again.
I'm just gonna take a very deep breath and go like, fuck the situation. I'm gonna look at Mordecai and say, Mordecai, I think you should go check up on Tiffany. Not Tiffany, on Amy. And also Ellicott, we don't know their current state. And again, active combat zone. I'm gonna look at Ezio. Ezio, you should probably go help too.
Will do. Give me a shout when you need some backup. I guess
I'm gonna look at Darius and just give him like dude, it's me. We saved our asses in a ship that was blowing up. Come on, just put the gun down very slowly. We're not gonna try to take it away from you. I'm gonna look at Winters. Say, Winters, is she stable enough, or do you still need to keep helping her?
I still need to keep watch.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Darius and say, Darius, I can't really say or even sympathize with what you're feeling. This is something that is alien to me, in a sense, but I can try to comprehend what you're trying to go through or what you're going through right now. But we're your friends and we're trying to help, so just lower the gun. Let Winters still keep watch over your sister. You can stay there if you want to, or maybe you can take a walk. It doesn't matter. Just put the gun down, please. We're your family too.
So, Darius, if you do want to know if there's a role that you could take to check whereabouts you would stand, it would be opposed, and it would be with willpower. So there is 9 degrees that you'd be going up against.
Yeah, no, I know it's more a case of you'll back up just slightly. Let the let her head down gently and let Winters step back in. He's standing up, the gun pointing at the floor, and you seen Cyberpunk 2040? Or is it 2047? What the fuck is that?
2077.
2077. Not Cyberpunk. Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
You know, same where he's in the fucking the what the heck? What's a Turing test? Hang on, I think I got a YouTube link of it here. I can't show it on stream, but I'll. Basically, he's just yelling, "Fuck! Fuck!" over and over again. He's backing up and. What do you need, Doc? What do you need for me to get her out?
We need a stretcher.
I'm gonna get a stretcher. And walking off towards the mutant encampment, what's left. And I'm literally just gonna start walking around and looking for a stretcher or something I could build into a stretcher.
Sure. Okay. So as Darius walks off towards the Archaeotech and the mutant village. So,
I'm going to approach Winters. Just put a hand on her shoulder and say, "If you need anything, just come get us. I'll keep an eye on Darius for now."
Please do. And make sure that after he's done, he comes back to me. He's as much a patient of mine as his sister.
Yeah, but we gotta. Although this is probably alien to most of us, we never had. I don't know actually, but I've never had a loved one be in a state such as these, and my other loved ones be at fault. So, just I'll be right back. I'll keep an eye on him. I'll pat you on the shoulder twice, and start walking away. Pause in the middle of the way. Tap my foot on the ground 3 times. Look at Tiffany and start, walking towards Darius.
yeah, that was amusing. So yeah, Tiffany follows along with you.
I'm just watching that. I'm kind of like stood there like I don't know what to do now. Because I want to go help Darius, but I also like not the time for me to try and help Darius. So I'm probably gonna go to try to go to the place where the psychers were.
Sure.
And try and see if I can see what they ripped out, and try and figure out a bit more of the inner workings of this thing. But I'm I'm gonna leave leave the sword and the acquired las rifle here and my shield, and I'm just gonna turn the micro bead off for a bit and go do that. Like, people don't need me right now. I'm just gonna not be around for a bit.
Fair enough.
No metagaming. I
So-
see you fucking off. It's fine, even though Amy's still here. But
So
Yes,
as
Amy's still
you-
here, but something slightly more pressing has happened, and he needs to deal with that on his own first.
As you all head off, we're going to go back in time ever so slightly. So, Ezio, as you walk past the Archaeotech, you can see that Vivi is like examining the all round the outside of it. He's like taking they're basically internal pictures, and you can see him like studying it carefully. Again, inside the Archaeotech, kind of a bloody frozen mess, kind of gross. That you walk on past, and you can see that Alucard and the rest of his men have formed up. The survivors from the secondary line of defense, I guess you'd call it, have moved on back, seeing that the primary line of defense, the tech priests, have been destroyed. They've just all congregated inside of what's left of their community. When you last saw Alucard, wasn't exactly looking too good. Very pale face, although covered in blood, literally, basically head to toe. Just a really long stream of it seemed to have gone from his jaw down his front. Uniform ripped and torn, however, is up about and moving, giving orders to his men, and all sorts of things as you're approaching. As you get in communication distance, you can see a number of servo skulls appear. As one of them comes up to you, or gets close enough to you, you want to roll me awareness? I'll give you a +20.
Will do.
Just in case you never know, you might take a crack shot at it. I don't recognise this. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. With 9 degrees of success, you're like, hang on a minute, that's Beethoven. What the fuck's he doing down here? As your own servo skull appears out of the darkness, surrounded by about 15 of the fuckers. As they come silently appearing as these these skulls flying out of the darkness with illuminating eyes and shit. You can see that
Screeching.
Alucard and the rest of his men, like, after a while, they notice and they all take up a defensive position, aiming their weapons towards servo skulls.
They're friends. No need to be worried. Worry more about the vampires. I suppose I'm with them.
Yep, you are with them. As you say that, they lower their guns. Alucard looks a little ashamed. And the servo skulls come into, again, communication distance, as sadly, everyone, my voice modulator no longer works with OBS. So no more robot noises. But over Beethoven's Vox communicator, you hear the words of Ceres Victoria Mantorus. Ceres Victoria Mantorus, that's the one. The other tech priest in the NPC group. Acolyte Ezio, I was informed by Acolyte VV that you were under attack and needed assistance. I have gathered up the servo skulls that I have control over. Point me to the enemy.
I point in the direction of the vampire swarm and I say, yes, we are having an attack of a mutant swarm. I also Also would request you to report to our Inquisitor friends. Shit. Can I retcon that?
Nope.
So I would say I would also like to report to our higher friends that we might have colleagues down there, and they took the archaeotech. We had a minor scuffle with one and had captured and have them captured and custody. She is badly wounded though, so that would be it. I also give a rough head count of the vampires.
Sure. So Alucard and his men all look kind of perplexed and disturbed and like, oh dear. I mean, Alucard kind of knew it from the beginning, so yeah. Yeah, you don't see many normal people down here. Yeah. He knows how it is. From the servo skull. Understood. I will send out auger servitors, and I'll have the gun servitors provide support and hunter-killer assistance.
That would be much appreciated. Also keep track of people moving something big out of the inner hive.
I will see if I can assist in this. However, there is much here that needs to be explored. It is very large. I will do what I can.
I'm aware. I still think you're better suited for this task than I am with my 2 eyeballs.
Very well. I will inform the Inquisitor. And send Medicae assistance, but it will take some time.
Medicae assistance is not needed. We have our own Medicae working on it, so...
Very well. However, I will send servitor
Never mind,
assistance.
send it anyway.
I will send servitor assistance. It will be with you in 16 hours.
That's appreciated.
If you need me, communicate through this unit.
Can you repeat that?
She said, if you need me, communicate through this unit. Beethoven's eyes go from this flashing red to this dull and kind of dull red. Well, I wasn't expecting to see assistance like this, but thank you.
You're welcome. You did help us before, and we don't want these mutants to come higher up. The faster their blood is smothered and burst, the better.
We've never had to deal with nothing like this. If it weren't for the las guns y'all provided, we would have been overrun.
Yeah.
Did you find any survivors when you came down here? It looks like there's a lot of. It's difficult for him to speak at the moment for some reason, and he's very, very sweaty.
We encountered a pocket of resistance that we assisted during our travel down here.
One of the big guys kind of points to you and like, yeah, they fight with us, boss. So the rest of the outpost were wiped out.
No idea. You didn't check. But I wouldn't have high hopes. You know what happens when something gets overrun.
Alucard basically sits down on the staircase that leads up towards the Archaeotech. The rest of his men kind of all, to find a wall to hunch down on or sit on the floor, or they kind of look defeated and broken as they're just looking around and like doing a head count, like the staff sergeant does a head count, and yeah, the mood just darkens even more.
This will be the moment for an inspirational speech that I can do, and I don't have command. I do have charm. I have to take the charm.
By all means, if you want to try and lift their spirits, you can. There's an awful lot of dead people around.
I don't suppose I can appeal to their guard nature for a bonus.
You could try, yeah. I mean, if you want to, I mean, give me the speech that you'd like to do. If you're just rolling flat, just for the die, then you're looking at a flat charm check because of the negatives. If you've got a good speech that you can give, then that will give you benefits that will get rid of the negatives. Because at the moment they're on like a -20 here. They're very much, their morale has very much been destroyed and shaken. They're like, holy fuck, we've just lost 90% of our population.
Problem is, I can't speak for the life of me, IRL. So I guess I start sporting about the backup that's arriving soon.
Sure, yeah, no, you can try and give like a little speech about, look, help is coming. It's always darkest before the dawn, but help has arrived and more is coming. It will be a flat charm check because it's help is coming for help is coming for you guys. It's not really coming for them. Their population, their gang is kind of no more. The Wild Wardens can't really carry on after this. And it is wholesale slaughter around here, all the little freaks and mutants that were running around, yeah, they're all dead. No more. So this is about time when you guys start trickling in. I believe it is... So Mordecai didn't really go too far. So it'd probably be Darius trickles in, and then Liliana, Tiffany, and Mordecai shortly after. Darius kind of just going on a mission to find and build a stretcher, and Liliana maybe a bit more curious. I think Mordecai is dipping into the Archaeotech, so we'll come back to him in a moment. Liliana, as you come up to the Archaeotech, Vivi is now inside. Like, ooh, wow, fascinating, interesting. Hypothesis forming, excellent, yes. Taking it all in.
Looking at Alucard and the rest of the group, is this all that's left out of character?
Pretty much. There's a couple extra heavies who are at the front gate. Now, so there should be 4 heavies. Yeah, there's 1 heavy looking at the front gate. Because basically 8 of them survived back here. And everyone else is dead. Except from the former guard members.
So I'm counting 9 of them here and another heavy outside, so that's 10 people in total. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Ah, I'm about to say "oh fuck," but I stopped myself in partway through. I look at Darius.
You got a low stick. I feel
yeah, over here, guys. Come on.
No, it's all right. So basically, sorry, the map is that you guys are coming in from the south. So essentially, it's just because you were in the corner there, so you're basically coming in here. And Darius kind of went through to be like, right, I'm building a stretcher.
Through, like, yeah, I push through. I don't pay any of them mind. If they're in my way, I might even not shoulder check them, but bump into them with the shoulder.
Yep.
Is this Alucard, by the way?
Yes.
Or is this
No, that's
just
the one.
approach Alucard? Which one?
Yep, no, that's him.
This one?
Yeah, that's him. The
Or
one
this
with the
one?
mask. No, he doesn't
Oh,
have.
okay.
It's a bad token, okay, but that's Alucard, the leader of the Wild Warders.
Okay.
With
It's
his heretical crew.
I'll just approach Alucard. How fucked up does he look like?
So he's been sweating for a bit now, and the blood's kind of stopped being poured over him. He's covered in blood. It looks like he was right next to an explosion where lots of people got turned into juice. Except from the weird thing is that like the front from his jaw and mouth down, all the way down his front, is just completely red, utterly red. Whereas everywhere else looks like he's been caught in the aftermath of someone's Ghibli bits. His uniform is ripped quite badly, but you don't see any wounds under. Like you can see, like as he moves, like looking for a low stick, for example, you can see into his clothing, and there's no wounds that you can see visibly. He is sweating like a madman. His breathing is quite erratic, and it seems really difficult for him to speak at the moment.
Can I just ask for a low stick? I'm just gonna tap him on the shoulder and say, "You're okay there, dude?" And I want to cast endurance on him.
Cast
So
endurance.
yeah, I don't have this all written up yet. Just give me a sec.
So you're trying to get rid of his fatigue, or is that
No, that's a healing one.
Yeah, it's psychic healing.
So you want to try and psychically heal him? Is that what you're trying to do? Okay. So roll to focus the power and cast it. You'll find it has no effect because he is undamaged. But you can still cast the power in case you cause psychic fuckery.
I mean, sure. No problem.
But yeah, when you cast it, you can feel the power circulate through him, and there's no. He's unwounded. He's undamaged.
I have to input the things that I forgot to input. I just typed the things that I wanted to grab, and didn't finish typing the rest. I was just gonna roll a D100.
Okay, nature. It would have worked, and you wouldn't cast a phenomena, so that's perfectly fine. So yeah, he isn't wounded. He looks as if he should be wounded. He's not.
I'm just gonna reach into my pouch and bring out the pack of glow sticks and give it to him. Like, here. I'm gonna look at the rest of the group and say, "You guys, I know this is probably the worst time to ask for this, but do you guys have a stretcher, and are any of you currently injured? Winters has her hands full, but she can probably help if any of you are currently heavily injured."
Alucard gets a light off one of his men and looks over at Amy. And so when you gave him the low stick or the pack, it looked like he wanted to try and say thank you, but just gave you a nod instead. And again, he kind of nods to Amy, and she just no words are passed. Yeah, we've got some medical supplies. One moment. She disappears off into a room, cracks open some things, and a few moments later, she comes out with a stretcher and some sterilized rags and some weird ointment in a tin. The ointment's made from a fungus and piss, but it works well enough.
I'm just gonna raise my hand. It's okay, honestly. We need it. Not only us, but you all need help. Are any of you injured that we can lend assistance?
The huge heavies just smash their scrap plate armor. We fine. Hey,
I
look,
look at
they're big and dumb. Just leave them be.
I'm just gonna look at him, give the Barack Obama thumbs up, like good.
Tiny little heads on huge bodies. Yeah, they're quite dumb.
Then I'll look at her and go like, yeah, but for real though, do you need anything?
I had a few close shots, but I'm fine, Sarge. Not so good. Now that you look, the sergeant is in quite bad shape. Although he's holding up and passing on Alucard's orders, he's slumped against the wall, kind of giving out orders, barely holding on. He's also on 10 wounds out of 11.
Lovely.
Oh, hang on. Is his 11 or is his a slightly higher? I can't remember. Let me just check the loyalist sergeant or officer, as it's more. Oh no, sorry. He's 5 wounds off death.
Oh, so he's not that bad.
He's still taking 10 out of 15. Yeah, it wasn't good.
It's fine. He's gonna be okay. I'm just looking at him again. Winters is our medic and she's currently strained, but she will help. She is, well, it's what she does. Hands like an angel, that one. But
I can
again,
hold on for now. I'm not dead on my feet yet.
Good man. This is gonna sound super bad, but I'm gonna get Alucard and just whisper very gently to him. Alucard, is this unfortunately all of you?
He nods. In a really jerky, stiff kind of manner.
I'm just gonna mutter under my mouth like, fuck. I'm gonna look at them. Do any of them have any super visible mutations? Well, obviously Amy, but
Amy has feathers growing out of her, where her hair should be. The other, so yeah, you've got Johnny, who's this one down here. His left hand is a tentacle.
Okay.
And then Edward, who's here. He's really old. He was probably, a really old sergeant when he was placed into the regiments, like a veteran taken from one regiment and put into another to help with the command. Really, really old, has lung problems. No other actual visible mutations other than that. Alucard, he is obscenely pale. Like he is like Casper the Friendly Ghost levels of pale. Right now he kind of like, if you were to wash the blood off him, like let's say someone gives him a wet rag and he washes, he would look like a corpse at the moment, like sweating, bags under the eyes. He doesn't have any visible mutations, but the mutations that he does have, if they were to be made, if they came to light, he probably would be executed. Like it's 40k, he will be killed.
Okay. Another question, because this is knowledge that me, Jimbo, doesn't have. Would a rogue trader have mutants in their retinue?
Yes, they would.
Okay.
You would have noticed, like on Shoto's ship, the Lustful Maiden, the dwarf, the midget, rogue trader captain, who I love to bits, by the way. Just he is a midget, just what he is. He like some of his crewmen, you would have noticed, had minor mutations. For example, like an extra finger, or nothing that would deem them heretical, at least none that you saw. But then after traveling on the ship, you can imagine that, if the shields go down or if they get zapped by radiation, yeah, you're probably gonna have some deviancy. So you would have at least seen it on Shoto's ship. The other rogue trader, you didn't see anything like that.
But
I
he
just
did have a dog person.
I wanted to confirm, because that's precisely the home that I was thinking about mentioning to them. Basically, they can't stay here anymore. They're no longer capable of staying here. So moving them to a place there where they can be, aka the guy with the dogman thing that I absolutely am deathly afraid of. But I'm just gonna look at him. Alucard, I know this is probably not something you want to hear, but I don't think staying here is sustainable anymore. But maybe we could give you a new home. You wouldn't be on this planet anymore, however. But at least you would be free again. And you would stay alive, which is the most important thing. Not only stay alive, but keep the memory of your loved ones alive too.
What do you say, Edward? You wanna start all over again? Somewhere else? How about you, Amy? Johnny?
Oh, wait, Johnny's dead.
He's still there with his tentacle hand. They're kind of looking at each other and looking around at this, what remains of what they had. Well, sir, I don't see why we should have to stay. I think we've done our duty by this world.
Out of character, can I hear this?
Yeah, you're around.
Probably.
Alright.
I mean, I'm around them. I can be still.
I'm turning around and I'm yelling at them. You what?
I'm just gonna shout at Darius. Darius, they got you a stretcher. Your sister needs you. Just to defuse him as quickly as possible. I just need him to pass out first. Then we can deal with him at home. I don't know why you brought him back up. Bad timing.
Mom, can we have Darius? No, we have Darius at home. Darius at home, an angry murder hobo.
Do I defuse Darius by doing something completely different?
I'm stepping into the crowd and marching my way up, and I'm as I'm marching my way up to them, I'm asking, are you seriously considering leaving? No. Are you leaving? I'm asking them, each and every one of them that looks like a guardsman or was part of the retinue of Alucard's retinue.
Johnny, they all kind of, as you go from Edward along, they all kind of look at each other and give a nod in unity, and Johnny, the youngest one, the one with the tentacle hand, steps forwards. We've done our duty by this world. We've done all that we can do here.
As you would interfere in. Actually, you haven't. You still have this vampire problem.
That's not what I was going to reference.
I'm just going to facepalm and go like, oh, come the fuck on, these two gods, man. Just let these fuckers go.
They are what Dante wants, and y'all are just being sanguineous right now.
Do you have any idea what the last, I don't even know how many years have been like? The horrors we've seen, the shit we've had to live with since the founding, and now everything that we worked hard to create. He looks over at Alucard, who's just just silent, smoking his low stick. If you gave him a pack, he's probably gone through like 3 by now. Still sweating like a madman.
All right. I'll give you this one. Have you seen your own world burn? Have you seen it get hit by a cyclonic torpedo and explode while you are traveling into the warp, far away, never to see it or the people you saw before leave? Do you want the last bit of this fucking planet to burn? Because there are more out there than you think. It's not the fucking mutants. It's those controlling them. Look at the cybernetic ones. They are too fucking stupid, too fucking dumb, too fucking twisted. They were a distraction. Those, as I point over towards where the ropes are, stop for a moment, and the real enemy is still here. You have a duty to your planet to make sure it's safe.
I'm just looking tiredly at Darius' speech.
Oh yeah, I'm turning to you next, by the way. And yeah, going straight up, pointing my finger dead in your chest and like pushing hard. Now, you don't know what it's like. You were never in the guard. You never swore yourself to your word, to your planet like this. And you haven't seen the shit like this. This is not your world. This is not my world. This is their world.
I'm just gonna sigh heavily. Look, Darius, seriously, I'm gonna start this now.
We took
Not
our
the place,
oaths.
not the time.
We made our oaths under the Holy Aquila. Fight for the God Emperor and Holy Terror. To drive back the evil that lurks in the dark. And I think so far we've done more than what was asked of us. And in return for our duty, we became twisted. We became freaks. We became the very thing that we were told to despise every time we picked up the good book. So yes, Darius, I think we have put in more than enough. But you're right as well. We did swear to protect this world. But what do you expect from 4 twisted guardmen and a few miserable, left-begotten freaks who eat their own shit to survive? As he looks over at the mutants that were or are in the Wild Wardens. I built this from nothing into something that we could at least take a bit of pride in. And we took our duty to protect this place very seriously, and it's gone again. So if you have some great idea of how we can stop this enemy, then I'm all ears. But at the moment, I'm out of them. I built up a phony regiment. I equipped them with las guns and the armor that I could get, and look where we are. You saved us, Darius, all of you did. With the equipment you traded with us. But it wasn't enough. He likes.
I'll stand up straight. I'll stand up straight. Deep breath and what was that prayer? My duty is death, and in death does my duty end. I don't see you dead, but if you think you may as well be, go ahead and leave. I'll save your planet for you. Go fuck yourself. And walk away to find a stretcher.
Just raise my finger, point at the stretcher, see walk away and see. Ah, fuck's sake, this is such a lovely day, isn't it? Ah, Emperor, why do you fuck us over so much? Please show us the light.
Did you say, oh, Emperor who fucks us over so much?
Yes.
I said, why do you let us get fucked over so much?
Okay.
Still sounds pretty heretical.
That's the high heresy.
I'm just saying, please show us the light, goddammit. It's still fucking true.
Yeah.
A preacher or someone like Caiaphas Cain would probably tell you that stop being an emperor botherer. He's protecting us from warp storms and all kinds of demonic shit. He doesn't care about your puny problems.
Pretty much.
Fair point. Gotta give it to the priest.
So the guardsmen kind of they basically scatter after this. They go about collecting up goods and just scavenging what they can to basically take stock. You know, how much medicine have we got, ammo, equipment, so on and so forth. So Alucard's basically just sat down, chain smoking, low stick, sweating like a madman. His breathing's kind of gotten a little bit more under control now. Is there anything else you guys would like to do, or are we jumping over to Mordecai, as I think he's kind of like, as we go back in time? Are we cool around here?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So we go back in time ever so slightly. Mordecai, you come to the entrance of the hole into the Archaeotech. VV is currently inside, not giving two shits about the body parts that are splattered and then frozen on the sides. Like he's scraping the goo off, like, oh, fascinating. These runes are interesting. Analysis being made.
Already taken
I fucking
detailed
love you,
pics
V.
of
So
all that
fucking cute.
VV.
Oh, but there
Talk
is
to-
nothing like first-hand experience in data analyzation.
You're needed down with the others.
Negative. I am needed here where the Omnisire has placed a great prophecy in front of me. This device is fascinating, interesting. It must be studied, must be calculated, and...
Will be. You are needed elsewhere. You can come back. It's not going anywhere. I'll make sure it's safe.
So he's looking around and his little cybernetic hands are just like clicking together like a little Mr. Burns, but they haven't quite got all the digits, so it's not a proper... But all three of them are just doing that kind of adorably as his hands are moving around and he's like doing the framing thing that you do for photos, but you can hear this clicking and whirring coming from his head. He stops for a moment. His head tweaks to the side. He turns round with his hands in a frame and starts in your direction. Acolyte, I am a specialist in Archaeotech and Xenos technology, forbidden law technology, and many other things related to technology. Is there something more fascinating outside that I should be observing other than... He gestures his hands around at the Archaeotech dome that he's currently in.
This Archaeotech dome is warp technology, and I'm more than capable of being its custodian. You are needed outside to help with the Castellan tech priests and assist Winters. It will be safe, I promise you.
Deceive check.
Yeah, I'm straight up going for the deceive here. I'm not great at deceive, but trying. Any bonuses?
No.
Okay. Suck it. a roll better than me, but still trying.
No, he's under Inquisition, isn't he? Yeah, Inquisitors NPCs. There he is.
Oh, his insight's gonna be huge because he's fucking tech priest of perception bullshit.
No, it's scrutiny. Oh no. Is it scrutiny? No, there is no insight.
Yeah,
It's
what I
scrutiny.
mean, like, that was me saying what it's gonna. Yeah, it's scrutiny is the skill.
I'm trying to think if he
Does also help.
Would he use a fortune point on this? He
It
can
does help that I'm
re-roll.
not fully lying because I am trained for warp.
He is going to use
stuff.
he is going to use a fortune point because he knows something about the Castellans. Oh, he failed again. Okay, so he's like, that is impossible. I have already checked it, Castellans. There is possibility of accidentally missing something important. 5%, give or take. I will re-examine. He leaves.
Take your time.
He leaves the dome and runs off as quickly as he can towards the Castellans. So I'm gonna have to. There's a talk going on. So basically, just as there's going to be a bit of time flux manipulation here going on. Basically, as the conversation ends, Darius has shouted and Alucard has shouted, and everyone's kind of gone their separate ways. VV goes running through the crowd over towards the Castellans.
As he leaves, and I close the door behind him. Is there any way to lock the door?
There's no closing a door. A hole was blown in the side of it.
Oh, the hole was blown in the side of it. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, as he goes off, I tried to find see. I know everything looks different, but because I actually saw the device they took out, can I see like if it's missing?
So, much like before, as you're inside the machine, you've entered through a different side, of course, but essentially the runes carry on the inside. They go all round the roof and along. The inside has a flat platform, which is where all the mutants were sat on before, and then it kind of dips down, much like a jacuzzi or it dips down. It's like a double step down, and then there's a big area. So think of it, you can also imagine it like a sit down fire on the beach where you can all sit round and the fireplace is in the middle, or the bonfire would be in the middle, fire pit, what have you. So it almost gives it like a leveled seating area, but along the floor in the center area, there are other rooms and so on going around the outside. Before, there was, like I said, like the fire pit area. You'd have your feet there and then there'd be a fire there. Well, it seems as if something has been lifted up and out. Some big cylindrical device has been removed. As you can now look down even further, and it's about 5 foot, 6 foot down. Like, it's a large piece of equipment that's being taken out of the machine. The energy that you felt before when you were in here is gone, utterly gone. That calming warp sensation no longer exists.
Yeah, so it was definitely from this thing. So, like, this definitely like where it's being produced. Can I climb down into it and see if I can get a bit of a closer look?
Sure. It's the span of it is at least like 4 foot, so like 48 centimeters. No, yeah, I think it's something like that. So it's more than enough for you to get down and not quite open your arms up. But you could definitely do elbows out, spinning round. More than enough room for you to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just get in and start like making notes, seeing if I can see like how things are connected and where things should be, and also kind of like a couple minutes into it, I realized, shit, I haven't got any of my pick feed stuff with me, and I kind of really need it and all that. So just kind of, yeah, do the best I can really to make, like, because we have our data slates on the, so like to make notes on them, in terms of what the bits look like and everything, if that makes sense.
So as you go down into the hole, you can see that there are a number of basically circuitry and high fantasy technological mumbo jumbo. There's lots of magnets. Yeah, magnets are kind of futuristic and sciencey. There's lots of magic. I don't know. It's kind of hard. It looks like something was meant to slot in here and then possibly move round, and you're not really sure what, because down here there aren't many runes carved. There's just 4. So there's basically a cross in the floor that runs up the walls that have runes running down. There's not that much down here. As you look to where it plugs in, it looks like a massive plug. It looks like it's got prongs for energy to, well, not that you'd know what a plug really does. I don't know what you'd know in 40k is the other problem. It's a weird ass device. So what exactly did you want to try and do down in the hole?
I want to see if I can tell, like, as well as I can, what it all looks like. See, kind of try and figure out how it relates to all the other bits. Like I've taken and studied pretty well the rest of the captures around the place of how the things look.
So it sounds to me like you're going in more for the technology side. So I would need either a Forbidden Law tech or a Forbidden Law archaeotech role. Failing that, it'd be a tech use with probably a -20.
It's more from the warp roll, because I've stuck trying to figure out how they, like, see what's common here, see if there's anything I recognize from my, I have a book on anti, making the warp not horrific stuff.
So you have a book on anti-demonology, but that has nothing to do with technology. Like you would need an adept to give you the technical findings of the machine, and for them to explain it to you in a method that would make sense to an Astra telepathica. Like, this energy output here we believe is used to create a negative warp energy output. What would that mean in terms of warp in your senses? And there'd be a discussion. Just knowing about demonology isn't enough to know about technology.
I know, but that's kind of the sort of thing he's trying to think of, is like trying to see if there's any commonalities he can figure out between what he's seeing and what he's learnt about demonology. Not necessarily that they are, but yeah.
So you could give me a demonology role, but this is specifically looking at the runes. because that would be the only thing that you can really, unless you can think of another lore role you can make. And
no,
thing
it's definitely
to
more looking
examine.
at the runes, but he's not seen down in that bit before, so that's why he's gone down in there.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be a demonology roll. There would be a -10 to it because it's not specifically demonology focused. Although spending enough time like you have, you do know that there are some runes from here that definitely have a correlating rune in the demonology book that you have, but it's like 5% of them had correlations, maybe less. But yeah, you can give me that. Oh yeah, so just -10.
Yep.
So as you start studying the runes that run down into the device, however, as I said before, the runes that you captured before, maybe 5% of them had some correlation, or less, maybe 1% of the 5% had a direct match. As you look down here, you'd notice that there's far less to do with anything to do with the warding of demons. There's literally none. However, what you do notice, well, these are runes that you would see used by the Astra Telepathica. Although this wouldn't have been an area that you would have focused massively on, because it is meant for astropaths. It's meant for astropathic chambers. It's an amplification rune. This is clearly an area to amplify, and you'd notice that these runes are duplicated on all 4 sides. They are in different positions in the runic script that's written, but you do like, okay, no, that one there and that one there, and wait, no, I see them here as here, and they're to amplify. And as you look around, to amplify what exactly? And some of these other runes that you look at now are just, they're in a different style, a different hand almost, in, or script maybe, and I don't understand these ones. They're just too different. They almost don't make sense being here. But that's about all you can tell from the runes, with the knowledge I think you have. Like I said, if you've got another knowledge that you can whip out and be like, aha, I have this one as well, then
yeah, I don't really have another one that would be kind of applicable. The only other thing I also kind of want to look at around here is, because I know that I don't know if it would be a knowledge I would have in character though, of like when you've got things like astropathic choirs and areas of high psychic activity, you tend to get like the psychoreactive crystals form around stuff. Would there be any of those around here if that's something I would know about in character?
you don't see any, and you don't know anything about technology to know that this would give that off. But yeah, you don't see any anywhere on the machine.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I think just spend time really just looking around, essentially taking some time to be on his own as well. Be like, I've probably just fucked the entire party dynamics up sort of as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So tick follows tock follows tick follows tock.
Pretty
Acolyte,
much.
why did you deceive me? The Castellans had no other data to transmit to me, and now I find you inside the device. A custode of an area guards.
I didn't deceive you. I didn't know what data you had already collected. And I have knowledge pertaining to this device. I've experience with it
He giggles.
before.
He giggles enthusiastically as his little hands more excitedly rub together, like ding. You have knowledge of this device. Please do tell. Spread.
Well, that
It's the buy him first.
from this and previous dealings I've had with this device, it's very much like a astropathic choir. That's what these glyphs are. They're extremely similar to ones you'll find there, but altered to perform a slightly different function, to calm the warp rather than use it productively.
Your theory is interesting, but negative. Fortunately, I was able to get access to Acolyte Jenny's data wafer on the subject matter at hand. The reason why my fellow brothers guardianed this place for so long. The worries that they had are insignificant to me, but I understand more of this machine. You are quite correct that the Astrotelepathica has used some runes that are from Archaeotech, but their use and meaning has been lost to us, for the most part.
Not to all of us.
I believe from my readings and findings and access to prohibited data from the Adeptus Mechanicus at Ordo Juris and Ordo Mechadendrum has enlightened me onto this glorious piece of Archaeotech gifted to us by the Omnisire. It would more than likely seem that this device was meant to be used as a weapon. But not weapon of war, weapon of culture. If it is as I believe, it would have created a stable warp bubble, enabling this entire world to use warp powers freely.
That definitely sounds within its what I have learned about its abilities.
Oh, but that is just its secondary purpose, which is insignificant to its main properties. It could create, in theory, an extimate space. He looks at you with his cold. Oh no, not cold. His eyes are probably like green at the moment, or blue. No, electric blue. That seems excited. Electric blue, yes. Yeah, he looks at you like expecting you to be like, oh no, really? You can't be serious. But they're just like, oh, okay.
Those are words I've heard before. I'm from a research station. I hear weird things like that all the time. Just like
Excitement is not shown as I was anticipating.
you're not the only one educated in the ways of science. Just not all of us in the same way. I lived in a research institution until my particular skills developed.
His head kind of clicks in one direction. Very nice, Acolyte. So, do you understand an X-Time-8 space?
I feel like we've talked about this in character before, so yes.
Jenny knows. No, Jenny knows of it, and she didn't tell anyone.
Oh, was it Jenny's? Oh, was
yeah,
it Jenny
she didn't tell anyone. And then her character left. An X-Time-8 space is a meeting point of 2 dimensions. Exponentially rare in nature. It is a place where the immaterium and materium join and function as one. Theoretically, one could imagine something and it becomes reality, and would then be able to be transferred into the material realm or immaterial with no negative effects.
That explains rather a lot, actually.
Accessing Data Archive, Ordo Juris. The Ordo Juris were sent to investigate a disappearance of some of their assets in a subsector on the edge of the Imperium. Upon arriving, they found the subsector to be gone. No other data from their expedition force in that subsector was ever heard of before again. However, scans did locate extremely rare particles that should not exist within the material realm. Inquisitorial archives. Ordo Mechadendum. Magos Sanuus of the Ordo's Mechadendrum was tasked to investigate X-Time-8 spaces with a member of the Adeptus Mechanicus sent to the outskirts of the subsector on the outskirts of the Imperial space. Last known information input was that they had succeeded in creating an X-Time-8 space before all information had gone dark. Theory: the X-Time-8 space exploded, destroying an entire subsector.
Yeah. Why do I feel like that's gonna be what happens to that? And I just, and I just gesture. Well, the part that was in here.
Ah, yes, the most important part of the machine. My heart is saddened, and the motive force runs cold through me, knowing that I will not experience this machine in operation. Unfortunately, I can only theorize as to what that would be. Taking Archaeotech into account, it would more than likely be a supercognite with a hyper-reactive crystalline matrix.
Can you dumb that down for me rather than my character? Because my character's a bit more intelligent than I am right now. And my brain just went,
to be honest with
what?
You, I imagine your character is like nodding along like, yes, I know what this is, while screaming internally like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely an element of that, but like me as a player has even less of an idea. So
in short, it is a warp active cognite unit using highly reactive warp crystals to interface with the warp whilst giving accurate data analysis. Archaeotech in the dark age of technology was wondrous. All praise the machine god, as he raises his hands and all his little mechadendrite arms just like raise up to the sky as well.
All praise the God Emperor, the Omnissiah, and the Motive Force.
His little
And then
hands come
look at
together.
it, it's just like, what else could those warp crystals be used for?
The warp crystals in question are not so much of interest. Yes, they would be highly reactive, on par with that would be appropriate for Astartes librarian level equipment, I would imagine. But in terms of the cognite that runs it, it would be wondrous. It would have access to all manners of data relating to the warp.
I'm just trying to think of all the reasons why someone might want to steal this. They may not have the knowledge. To see Winters' message, they may not have the knowledge that you possess. So if they wanted it for just the warp crystals, which are quite rare, they might.
Negative. These warp crystals can be harvested from a number of places within the Imperium, let alone different Xenos species. In fact, these crystals would be relatively in line with a more raw Wraithbone crystal of the Inari. Or Inari? Older classification
Eldari.
still stands.
Eldari. I don't think Inari are a thing yet.
No, he
Pretty
was
sure they're not.
he was going to use so I was going to use GW's bullshit name for them, and I was going to have him reclassify.
Yeah.
Use old directory.
Oh.
Eldar.
Where else in the Imperium could they acquire these?
These types of crystals, they are mined
Yeah.
on many planets within the Imperium. The Badab sector is the highest outputter for such things, but also the most dangerous.
So I doubt it would be. Given you've told me how common that those crystals are, and
Common
I
in
think yes, it's safe to.
common when put to something like this. This Archaeotech device is a
Yes.
one of a kind, whereas these crystals
Yes.
can be found.
Yes, that rules out my suspicions that it may have been something more simple, but now it
Accessing Forbidden Lore
probably
Dark
more
Mechanicum. Ah, interesting.
dark. What now?
For example, if this machine were to be placed into something like a heretical war engine, it would theoretically be able to boost that war engine's connection with the immaterium, thus allowing it to function within the material plane far easier and for longer. Perhaps it would even increase the abominable intelligence of the demonic entity.
Demonology probably have some knowledge of demon engines, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, Dark Mechanicum, what now? Oh, that's not good. It's like, can I?
Like you would
Our
know of
prisoner.
You would know of demon
Oh,
engines,
yeah.
just to yeah.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know about the Dark Mechanicum, so he's still processing that
true.
and go, could it? What? Are there any other inquisitorial bands you know of that knew this was here? The
Negative.
prisoner we've captured mentioned they were working for one.
Negative. I am unaware of any inquisitorial presidents on this world except from our Inquisitor. However, we are not in contact with the Inquisition ourselves, so constant updates are not going to happen. It could be possible, but only he would have the authority to find out.
That's yeah. I think you and me are going to need to have a talk with him. I'm surprised you don't hate. You're treating me nicer than most Mechanicus, and I thank you for that. And I
Query,
would like to share
why
more.
do others not treat you the same?
Because I have a trait called enemy admac because they don't like me. Speaking in non-game terms, they exactly that. It's like I accidentally insulted a tech priest. It
Oh, members
was
within
before I.
members within the Adeptus Mechanicus do not like you. Oh, isn't that interesting? They do not like me either. Many of my brothers and sisters of the cloth were killed because we are heretics. Or we have heretical lines of thought and view that do not align with the main Adeptus Mechanicus cult. Although from how I see it, we did the Omnissiah's duty and protected our ship, and ensured that it would make it back to its holy birthing place. We completed this task and were deemed heretics and traitors to the Omnissiah.
Did he just treat like a spaceship like a salmon?
Pretty much, from what it sounds like.
Nice.
I've just like flipped from okay, they don't like you. You and me can be friends. I'm a heretic. Wait, what?
He'll give you a brief. He'll give you a breakdown, which in character lasts longer. I'll give you a quick breakdown of what he says.
Yeah.
He was on an Arc Mechanicus vessel that's warp engines went kaput. So they travelled by a light speed. Oh, and their astropaths all died, and their communications grid went offline in a big battle. So they went with light speed back to their homeworld, which, as you can imagine, would take generations. So they kept trying to fix shit and get, messages out, and in the end, every time they got into a fight with someone, they went, look, vital systems are broken, but that Eldar ship has systems that are still operational. Okay, bring the Eldar power source on board. Right, how can we get this to work with our ship? And over generations of them trying to keep their Arc Mechanicus vessel up and running and going throughout the void, they became heretics. Because by the end of it, this ship got to its home, and it was an abomination, from the other tech priest's point of view. All this alien technology put into it to keep it running. So, fortunately, Ordo Mechadendum got involved and saved a few of the tech priests, and the rest of them got killed.
Yeah, I just like when he first said heretic, I was like, takes a half step back, and then he explains, it's like, oh, so you were okay, very pragmatic.
It all depends on your outlook and point of view. We did our duty. We did what we knew was right.
Yes, you did what you had to.
But keep that in mind, that any other tech priest, like Festus, for example, would be appalled and disgusted to find this information out. He may even try to extinguish my spark.
If he tries that, just send him my way. He can extinguish my spark instead.
His head like cocks in a curious, is that logical? Seems to come up with a contradiction going on, and his head just shakes. And
he does that. It's like you don't get implications, do you? Very easily.
He shrugs.
He can try. Let's put it that way. He would not succeed.
Fortunately, the Inquisitor seems to enjoy my look on Imperial and Adeptus Mechanicus relationships, and lets me do what I want, along with the Ordo Master. He is an interesting character, but to the point of it, essentially he will start saying more techno jargon to you if you stand around and listen to it, or you can excuse yourself. It's entirely up to you.
I'd probably stand around and listen to most of it because he doesn't really want to be seen right now anyway. And this is giving him a nice little distraction.
This is also one of the few tech priests that will actually, talk to you without berating you.
Yes, and I am from a research world, so it's nice to talk shop a little bit.
Besides, you need an hour to kill.
Yes, basically, I need an hour to kill before I get killed.
Before our favorite angry private passes out again.
Yes.
So, is there anything anyone else wants to do in this time? Because otherwise we will have a little time skip and someone will go 99.
Yeah.
I mean, try and
I
wait a bit.
I would like to try and calm either the Inquisitor and ask for permission, or if it would be
Inquisitor's
possible.
on a mission, and he told us it's unlikely we can get a hold of him. Remember?
Right. It's been like 2-3 weeks, dude. I forgot.
I know.
Basically, I want to talk to someone and ask if there is any possibility for us to take these people to the Dogman ship.
So you can piggyback messages from Ceres.
I can give you the servitor if you want.
Other people. So if you call out to how I need to whatever, Beethoven will come over and Ceres's voice will come through. Was there something you needed?
Can you get in touch with Shojo's ship, the Lustful Maiden?
Done. I'm in contact with his ship now.
Can you ask him if it is possible for him to house look at Alocad and his men? 10, 12 people or so with some mutations.
What category mutation are we talking about? If category 1 is a extra digit and category 10 is a abhorrent mutant with multiple visible mutations, where do they lie?
I'm gonna crack my head to the side I'm so out of my water over here. I don't know, 6, 7, 5?
Very well, your information input is lacking, but I will transfer the data to Shoto's ship. One moment.
Thank you, Ceres. Also, Ceres, if you could help, can you see through Beethoven's eyes? Maybe you could help me out here.
One moment. You see the servo skull, something begins to smoke, and its eyes burn stupidly bright for one moment before one of them goes out. It turns really quickly and looks around, and kind of just gets a view of everyone in it. And then there's a dish. One of the eyes goes out and the power goes down. There's a little bit of smoke. It turns around. The box is a little bit wobbly now. Unfortunately, the machine was not able to function as I had hoped, but I do have some images that I can work with. I would posit category 3.
Oh, it's a lot better than I thought. Thank you for your help, Ceres. You're as reliable as ever. Again, I appreciate it.
Yeah, if we're going with all minor mutations as being category 1, yeah, maybe category 3. So about,
one of them has a mutant arms. That's probably category 5.
Well, so
he said abhorrent abomination. So a tentacle
a 10 is a beast. A 10 is a beastman, basically.
Oh, okay.
10 is
like that.
That's why it was multiple obvious mutations.
That is one very large obvious mutation, but it's still it's large enough to be threatening.
Look, dude, there was a chick with dicks in her tits.
Yeah, that's that would be a category.
I don't fucking know.
But
That's
to
why
be
I said
fair,
somewhere along there.
the dude with the tentacle hand, technically, he could have his hand chopped off where it's still human and prosthetic added. It really wouldn't be that difficult to get rid of his.
Well,
it's just everyone
Mine's
else's.
body rejected and regrow the tentacle somewhere.
No, so it essentially, if you were to cut it off below the mutation, yes, it would always come back because there's still some mutation there. If it says you have a mutated hand and you cut off above the hand, well, it didn't say you had a mutated arm. You do have to be, sometimes you have to be a bit of a cunt when you're reading the rules and be like, no, it said the hand, I'm taking the forearm off. Fuck you.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So it is fixable. You know, if he had proper Medicaid, like, so let's say Amy, she could technically have all the feathers taken out, in which case she would just look like she had a lot of scarring, but the feathers would grow back, so she'd have to have constant treatment having the feathers plucked out, because it's physically growing out of her skin, just as an example. But yeah, 5 minutes or so go by, and Sarah gets back to you. Shoto has accepted the condition, on condition that you are able to get them to a starport without causing commotion. If you can get them to a starport and into a vessel, much like your gun cutter, then from there he will happily accept them.
I'm going to nod. I know she can't see me nodding, but I'm still going to nod, and then I'll go like, "Oh, no, yes." Sarah's is your former location, the one where we had stayed for a little bit. Do you know if that place is still secure?
Yes, it appears to still be secure. However, I did notice that in the areas where Darius and Mordecai encountered the creature, and the areas where you recovered the mutant, the doors separating that area, they had been opened.
Oh, shit on my face. That's not good news.
The plus side means that we can get these people out of here there, because that leads out.
I know that. I know. I'm just gonna. Might as well go check it out. If the machine spirit
I have already examined the area with my servo skulls and servitors I had stationed here.
Oh, so the place is still secure?
It would seem as if either a hunter team or a capture team came down here, as many of the mutant abominations had been slain, but there were signs of electric discharge and tranquilizer darts.
How curious. All right. Sarah, you're the specialist over here. Do you know if that place is secureable? Can we close down those doors and reopen them? Should we need to?
Negative. I have closed them and they will remain closed. The area behind there is too vast to secure. I have disabled the controls on the other side, and they are locked from our side and will remain so, unless there is a reason for us to venture into that part of the Underhive. I did not notice any intrusion into our areas when I observed my security feeds.
Okay. Sarah's, would you mind if we house them there as a jump-off point for a little bit? I'm asking this of you because, well, that place used to be yours too. So
Negative, you have your own storage location down here. They
true,
can be
but as
housed
our
there.
neighbor, I had to ask.
They will
Very
not
well.
enter my sanctum.
They will not, obviously. It's just that, neighborhood, you might not like it, stuff like that. Thank you for thanks, Sarah.
So the servitor zooms off and carries on. I believe it's an auger servitor, so it just carries on pulsing out auger array scans as it goes. As far as
I don't know what Darius would have been doing after if he still went off to try and find another stretcher while we had a stretcher, if he picked up the stretcher and went back to Winders.
So,
but
the last moments of our session, then, as Darius takes the stretcher off of Amy and heads off down towards his sister, you can see Vivi and Mordecai talking inside of the chamber, and walks past and comes across Winters, and him and Winters help his sister onto the stretcher and place her onto a better area. Perhaps Darius relieves Winter for a little while, and there's other people who are wounded down there. Winters giving him a look like, "You're not going to pull another gun, are you?" And walks off. That is where we'll end our episode, as Darius looks down upon his sister as the stim wears off and he falls unconscious. Not realizing that Ezio has just walked back ever so slightly. It's just watching, just in case.
To put a bullet in her brain.
So
no, just to loot all her belongings.
that is where we're going to end our episode. I certainly hope you've enjoyed this one. There was some fucking awesome roleplay in there. To be honest with you, I've given out quite a bit of XP recently. I was going to make this one a little bit light, maybe a 150, maybe. But no, I'm thinking a 250. No, make it 300. There was some. It was a good episode. I very much enjoyed just sitting back and listening to the shit going on. It was brilliant.
My throat hurts.
So, thank you all so much for getting to the end of this episode. I did actually have some news, which I completely forgot to even talk about at the start. For those brave members who make it this far, you'll see down below there is an Etsy link. That is to my Etsy shop, where I sell my crappy art. There's a sale on at the moment, so if you want to have a look at some of the bullshit I do, you can look there. If you want to buy some, even better. And if not, just going there and clicking the link does actually help promote me more on Etsy. So, thank you very much if you do that. If not, don't worry, you're still awesome for getting to this point anyway. Thank you all so much for watching. I certainly hope you've enjoyed. I also hope you're looking forward to the other RPG games that we'll be playing this week. And thank you all so much for watching. Probably already said that multiple times. Take care, everyone, and as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
see ya.
Remember, kill your friends' sisters.